The unexpected offer the night sky was quiet, but far away in the depths of space, something stirred. From beyond the stars, a massive alien empire watched Earth closely. This empire was powerful, with fleets of warships that could destroy entire planets. But instead of attacking, they sent a message that shocked the whole world. The message came without warning. It was a clear and simple offer. The aliens promised to protect Earth from any danger in the galaxy. They said Earth did not need to fear anything anymore. The entire world stopped and listened. People all over Earth stared at their screens, reading the message again and again. Leaders gathered in emergency meetings. Scientists worked day and night to understand who sent the message and why. The message was from a great empire called the Zirathans, known throughout the galaxy for their strength and control. No one had expected this. Why would such a powerful empire offer help to a small, young planet like Earth? Some people felt hope. Maybe this was the chance Earth needed to survive the dangerous universe. Others felt fear and suspicion. What if this was a trick? What if the Zirathans wanted something in return? The news spread fast. Every TV, radio, and computer talked about the alien offer. The whole world was divided. Some wanted to accept the help. Others wanted to reject it. The debate grew louder each day. Meanwhile, strange things began to happen. Satellites picked up mysterious signals coming closer to Earth. Strange lights appeared in the sky. Scientists said these signs warned of danger coming soon. The world had to prepare, and fast. The United Nations called for a global meeting. Leaders from every country joined to discuss the alien offer. After long talks, they agreed to accept the Zirathans' protection. But there was one condition. Earth would not send a large fleet or army. Instead, they would send just one warship, a symbol of trust and strength. One ship to represent all of humanity. This ship was called the Defiant. It was the best warship Earth had built, small but fast, with strong weapons and a brave crew. The captain of the Defiant was Commander Mira Khan, a fearless leader known for her sharp mind and courage. She had trained her crew for many years, preparing them for missions beyond Earth's safety. As the Defiant prepared to leave Earth's orbit, the people watched with hope and fear. Some cheered, believing this warship would show the galaxy that humans were not weak. Others worried. If one ship could stand against the dangers that lurked in space. Commander Mira stood on the bridge of the Defiant, looking out at the stars. She felt the weight of the mission on her shoulders. This was not just a trip to meet aliens. It was a test of humanity's spirit and strength. The Defiant launched into the dark sky, leaving Earth behind. It moved quickly toward the Zirathan fleet, a giant assembly of ships shining like stars in the distance. The alien fleet was enormous, much larger than Earth's entire navy. As the Defiant approached, the Zirathans watched silently. They were curious about this small ship. Why did Earth send only one warship? Was this a sign of weakness or confidence? The first contact between humans and Zirathans was tense. The aliens communicated through a powerful translator, speaking in calm but serious tones. They welcomed the Defiant, but warned that the galaxy was changing. A new enemy, unknown and deadly, was rising. The Zirathans could protect Earth, but they expected humans to cooperate fully. Commander Mira listened carefully. She knew humans must show strength, not fear. She told the Zirathans that Earth accepted their offer, but wanted to remain proud and free. Humans would fight alongside the Zirathans, not just be protected by them. The aliens seemed surprised. No other planet had spoken like this before. Usually, they accepted help without question. But humans were different. They had fire in their eyes. Suddenly, alarms sounded on the Defiant. Sensors picked up fast-moving ships approaching. These ships were not Zirathans. They were enemies, dark, silent, and deadly. The new danger the Zirathans warned about had arrived sooner than expected. Commander Mira ordered the crew to battle stations. The small warship was ready to fight alone against overwhelming odds. The fate of Earth and the galaxy hung in the balance. The Defiance engines roared as it moved to intercept the enemy. The stars around them seemed to hold their breath. This was only the beginning. The unexpected offer had led to an even more unexpected war. The lone warship, the Defiant, was small. Compared to the massive Zirathan fleet, it was like a single flame in a sea of stars. But inside its metal walls burned a fierce spirit. Commander Mira Khan stood firm, knowing that this lone warship carried the hopes of all humanity. The crew worked fast and silent. Each person knew their role perfectly. The enemy ships were closing in shadows that moved too quickly, too quietly. No one had ever seen them before. Their shape was strange, almost like living darkness. As the Defiant moved closer to the Zirathan command ship, Mira's mind raced. She understood one thing clearly. This warship was not just a weapon. It was a message. A message that humans would never bow or hide. They fought with heart, no matter how small their numbers. The Zirathan admirals watched from their massive ships. They whispered among themselves, surprised at Earth's choice. Why send only one warship? Did humans truly believe one small ship could stand against the coming storm? Mira ignored their doubts. She focused on her crew and the mission ahead. Every second counted. Suddenly, the enemy ships attacked. Dark shapes darted through space like deadly fish hunting their prey. The Defiant shook as lasers fired and explosions lit up the void. The enemy aimed to destroy this small ship quickly, to send a warning to Earth. But the Defiant was fast. Using sharp maneuvers, the warship dodged attacks and fired back with precision. Its advanced technology surprised even the Zirathans. The humans used clever tricks, hidden weapons, sudden bursts of speed, and unbreakable dot in the heat of battle. One young pilot named Jock stood out. His hands moved quickly on the controls, guiding the ship through impossible angles. He smiled under pressure. For him, this fight was personal, a chance to prove humans were more than just a small planet. The battle raged on, the Defiant weaving between enemies, striking where it hurt most. The Zirathan fleet held their breath. For the first time, they saw what humanity could do. Suddenly, a warning flashed on the screen. Enemy reinforcements were arriving. The small warship would soon face more than it could handle alone. Mira made a bold choice. She sent a message to the Zirathan fleet. We fight not just for Earth, but for all who stand against this threat. Send your ships to join us. Together, we can survive. The Zirathan leaders hesitated. Pride and old politics held them back. But the courage of one human warship was hard to ignore. Slowly, their massive fleet began to move forward, shields raised, weapons ready. The Defiant led the way. It was no longer just a lone warship. It was a symbol of hope. As the enemy closed in again, the warship's crew prepared for what might be the hardest fight of their lives. But one thing was clear. Humans would never back down. Not now, not ever. The stars watched silently as the small human ship faced the dark tide. This was just the beginning of a war that would change the galaxy forever. First contact. The Defiant moved closer to the heart of the Zirathan fleet. The massive ships surrounded them like a giant wall of metal and light. The humans felt small, but their courage did not waver. Commander Mira stood tall on the bridge. Her voice was calm, but strong. Prepare to make first contact, she said. Every crew member tightened their grip on controls. They knew this moment could change everything. The Zirathans opened communication channels. Their leader, a tall figure with glowing blue eyes, spoke in a deep voice through the translator. Welcome, humans. You have sent only one ship. Why so little? Myra smiled slightly. Earth is proud. We do not send armies to ask for help. We send warriors to stand as equals. The alien leader looked surprised. You are bold. Few in the galaxy speak to us this way. Before the talk could continue, a sharp warning sounded across the Defiant. Sensors detected unknown ships approaching fast hostile ships. Mira's eyes narrowed. Enemy fleet incoming. They do not want peace. The Zerathans' faces grew serious. This is the threat we warned you about. We have fought them for centuries. They seek to destroy everything. A Defiant crew prepared for battle again. But Myra refused to back down. We will fight with you, she said. We are ready. The enemy ships appeared, black and silent, like shadows. Their weapons glowed red as they advanced. The Defiant launched first strikes, dodging and weaving through enemy fire. The alien fleet responded, their massive cannons lighting up the darkness. But something was strange. The enemy did not attack the Zerathans first. Instead, they aimed for the Defiant, a single human ship. Myra realized then humans were the true threat. To these enemies, a lone warship was their main target. The battle grew fierce. Explosions shook the Defiant. The crew fought bravely, using every trick and weapon they had. Through it all, Myra stayed focused. Hold your ground, she ordered. Show them. Earth will never fall. The Zerathans began to admire the human strength and spirit. This tiny ship was fighting like a storm, fearless and fierce. Suddenly, the enemy fleet slowed and retreated. They left behind a warning, a message in cold silence. This is only the beginning. The Defiant stood battered but undefeated. Mira looked to the stars and said softly, "We will be ready." The galaxy was watching. Humans had made their first true mark. They were no longer just a planet to protect. They were warriors. Asterisk, the unexpected enemy, a Defiant, floated in the silent void, battered but alive. Its crew moved quickly, repairing systems and patching hull damage. Commander Myra paced the bridge, her eyes sharp, mind racing. The Zerathan fleet gathered nearby, their massive ships calm but alert. The alien leaders watched the humans closely. Now, they had seen courage, but they still did not fully trust Earth's warriors. Suddenly, alarms blared through the Defiant. New blips appeared on the sensor ships emerging from a dark nebula nearby. These were not Zerathans, nor were they the enemy from before. These ships, said the science officer, are unknown. Their design is unlike anything recorded. No signs of diplomacy-only weapons. Myra's jaw tightened. Prepare for battle. This is not a coincidence. The new enemy moved swiftly, cutting through the darkness with deadly precision. The Zerathan fleet responded, raising shields and forming battle lines. But these ships were fast, too fast to track easily. The battle began without warning. Explosions lit the void as the unknown enemy struck suddenly. Their weapons were strange beams of crackling energy that burned through shields like fire. The Defiant fired back, dodging blasts and returning fire with all it had. The crew worked as one, each move precise, each shot calculated. Jox, the young pilot, weaved the warship through enemy fire. "We won't let them win," he shouted, voice filled with fierce hope. Despite their numbers, the new enemy was cautious. They aimed to cripple the fleet quickly, but avoided full commitment. Mira realized their goal. They wanted to weaken the Zerathans and humans before the real war began. The battle raged on, close and brutal. The Defiant managed to take down several enemy ships, shocking even the aliens. But the unknown enemy suddenly launched a surprise attack on the Defiant's engines. Sparks flew, systems failed. The warship lost speed and began to drift. Mira ordered emergency repairs, but the enemy closed. In fast, it was a fight for survival. Just when all seemed lost, the Xerathan fleet unleashed their full power. Massive energy beams tore through the attackers, forcing them to retreat. The unexpected enemy vanished back into the shadows of space, leaving a chilling message through destruction and silence. That worse was coming. The battle was won, but the war was only beginning. Mira looked at her tired crew and said, "We have shown them what humans can do. But the real fight is ahead." The Xerathans finally nodded in respect. Earth was no longer just a planet to protect. It was a warrior. World asterisk. Trust earned the battle had ended, but the air was heavy with tension. The Xerathan leaders gathered in a grand chamber aboard their flagship. Their glowing eyes watched the small hologram of the defiant warship spinning slowly in the center. For centuries, no planet had stood up like this. No people had fought with such fire and pride. The humans were different. They did not ask for protection. They demanded respect. Commander Myra was called to meet the Xerathan High Council. The hall was vast and cold, filled with tall figures dressed in silver armor that shimmered like stars. Their voices echoed as they spoke. "You have proven your courage," said the council leader. "Few would stand alone against such enemies." Myra nodded, steady and calm. "Earth will fight for its own future. We do not seek to be saved, we seek to be equal." The council murmured among themselves. The galaxy was changing. Old rules no longer worked. Trust had to be earned. Back on the Defiant, the crew watched the meeting through secure channels. They felt the weight of this moment. For the first time, humans were not just protected, they were partners. A secret meeting followed. Human and Xerathan leaders spoke in quiet tones, building fragile bridges between worlds. They shared knowledge of the enemy and strategies for survival. Myra pushed for one thing: human freedom. "We will stand with you, but never under you." Earth's warriors fight for their home, on their terms. The council considered her words carefully. Respect was not given lightly, but Myra's honesty earned it. Outside the chambers, the galaxy seemed to pause. The uneasy alliance formed, fragile but real. Yet beneath the surface, doubts lingered. Was this new trust enough? Could it survive the coming storms? Myra returned to the Defiant, knowing the real test was still ahead. The enemy was gathering power. The war had only begun, but for the first time, humans stood not as weaklings, but as proud warriors. The galaxy was watching and waiting. The real threat for weeks, the fragile alliance held. Humans and Xerathans prepared for war. Scientists worked side by side, sharing secrets of weapons and shields. Soldiers trained together, learning new tactics. But beneath the surface, a shadow grew. Commander Myra watched the stars carefully. Strange signals kept appearing, faint but clear. Something massive was coming, something the galaxy had feared for centuries. One night, the Defiant sensors picked up a huge energy wave sweeping across space. The warning was clear. The real enemy had arrived. The High Council called an emergency meeting. The great cosmic threat was not just a fleet or army. It was a force of destruction, unlike anything before. Myra stood before the council. "We must act now. This enemy will destroy everything if we wait." The council agreed, but the plan was risky. Myra would lead a dangerous mission deep into enemy space to gather intelligence. It was a suicide mission, but no one else was better. Suited. The Defiant slipped through dark space, past enemy patrols and traps. Every moment was tense. One mistake could mean death. Inside the ship, the crew held their breath as Myra's team moved to the enemy's edge. The dark enemy was unlike any force they had fought. It was cold, merciless, and hungry for destruction. Suddenly, Myra's team discovered the enemy's plan. They intended to destroy all life in the galaxy, to wipe out Earth and the Xerathans. Alike, the truth shocked them. This was not just a war. It was extinction. The Defiant raced back, alarms blaring as enemy ships gave chase. A warship dodged and fought, pushing its engines to the limit. Mira knew the galaxy depended on their return. The warning had to be delivered. As the Defiant escaped into safer space, Myra's voice was steady, but full of urgency. Prepare for war like never before. This is the fight for survival. The galaxy had no choice now. The real threat was here. And humanity's true test had begun. *1 warship's stand darkness spread across the galaxy like a shadow. The unstoppable enemy fleet loomed closer, bringing fear and destruction. Earth and the Zerathans prepared for the final battle. The fate of billions rested on a thin line and on one small warship, the Defiant. Commander Mira stood on the bridge, her eyes steady as steel. Her crew gathered around, tired but ready. This is our moment, she said. We fight not because we want war, but because we want to live. We fight for Earth, for our future, and for every star in this galaxy. The Defiant led the combined fleet into battle. Enemy ships poured fire like a storm. Explosions lit the black sky, shaking even the massive Zerathan dreadnoughts. The small warship darted through chaos, its weapons striking key enemy targets. Mira's crew worked like one mind, each movement precise, each shot deadly. JAX, the young pilot, laughed in the heat of battle. Let them come. They'll learn what humans can do. The enemy pushed harder. They wanted to crush the humans first. The Defiant took heavy hits, but it never faltered. In a bold move, Mira ordered a daring strike. She led the ship straight into the heart of the enemy fleet. The warship fired a powerful pulse weapon, disabling several enemy command ships at once. The galaxy held its breath. The enemy faltered, their attack breaking for the first time. Zerathan ships surged forward, pushing the attackers back, but victory came at a cost. The Defiant was badly damaged. Systems failed, and the ship drifted. Barely alive. Myra made one final call. Hold the line. Protect the Defiant. We cannot lose her. The crew fought with every last breath, defending their ship and their home. At the edge of destruction, a signal came from Earth reinforcements, fleets from every nation, rushing to join the battle. The enemy saw the growing human strength and hesitated. With one last push, the combined fleets forced the enemy to retreat into the dark void. Silence fell. The Defiant had stood alone, but it had led the fight. Humans had earned their place in the galaxy, not as victims, but as warriors. Commander Myra looked out at the stars, her heart full. We did it, she whispered. We are not just protected. We protect ourselves. And so, the legend of the lone human warship began, a symbol of courage, pride, and the unbreakable spirit of Earth.